Hello everyone. I have here some Arnold in-scale U25Cs, and I have one U28C that I have added sound to. This U25C I have partially finished because I want to show the before and after modifications that I did to it. First thing you're going to notice is the light board is missing off the top of it. The light board fits across the top. It screws down with 4 screws. There's 4 screw towers there. You can see where the screws go in. One truck tower I had cut off the wheel wiper extensions and soldered my track power wires to that. One truck tower still has the wheel wiper extensions on it, and the original light board has these little brass feet that rubbed up against the top of it, and it's set across the top of it like this, and that's how the light board got its power from the track. I'm not going to set it up like that for DCC sound. I'm going to cut those all off. And you can see where I had cut off the feed on the other side of the light board. I'm going to solder the track power wires to that. Now, this is a 6-pin NEM 651 plug, and across the top of the original light board is going to have a number 1 on pin 1 and number 6 next to pin 6. Pin 1 is going to be the location of how the decoder is going to plug into it, because you need to know which one is number 1. This is going to be the plug-in for that plug. And you can notice that there's a star next to pin 1. That tells you that pin 1 is located on this ribbon cord that comes off of the decoder, and it plugs into pin 1 on the bottom of the board. Decoder is an ESU B5 micro decoder, and it originally came with a wire harness like this right here, and I replaced that wire harness with one of these, which I bought separately. You can actually buy these decoders with these on them, and this is the 51994 adapter board 18, next 18 socket for the 6-pin plug-in. This locomotive I had finished, just to show you the finished product. And you can see the decoder on the left side of the light board. I have capped on tape to the light board on the underside. That's also where the 6-pin is located, the socket 6-pin located. And the right side here is the cab area of the locomotive, and that's where I have the speaker, which is a Streamlined Backshop 16 by 9 Sugarcube speaker. I think it is a half depth sound chamber, and that's the end result on how I installed that. I left it off there so I can show. This area right here, I mill off back to where that screw is that holds this on the main chassis. There's a screw here, you could see right there. And I also mill this back right up to where that screw is at. That way it gives me some more depth for, I want to show you on this one, to set the decoder back to where it's not extruding out past the light board. Because if it does that, then the body shell will not fit. Same way with the speaker end. It's that piece on top of the light board bracket is milled back also for that. Here is the difference between an Arnold coupler box and a Microtrains coupler box. The coupler box on the right is the Arnold. The one on the left is Microtrains. And you can see that the Microtrains is much thicker. And the Arnold, the knuckle coupler itself is only about 3/4 the size of the Microtrains knuckle. You have to, if you want to change that out and use that, you got to get into cutting that opening out on the locomotive on the height to get the Microtrains to fit in, and I use a small file for that. Also, I think it's just slightly wider and you have to hit it just a little bit on the sides of that opening. Now that ribbon on that adapter, you can fold them over to where you got to be careful to where you don't rip it from side to side, and they will fold. And I want to put this on and show how this is going to fit on that light board. Now this shows how I folded that ribbon to where this will sit down underneath that board. And that ribbon is narrow enough to fit in between those screw towers to where the screws will not hit the ribbon. Now I went with this installation as opposed to using a hard wire installation like this. That way I could utilize the original lights on the light board. I didn't have to use any of my LEDs. The LEDs are already on the light board, but you can hardwire it into where you can get the number board lights to light up separately, along with a function settings on the decoder itself. Now I have a pair of locomotives already on the track, and you can see that the light boards are lit up because there's track power. They will always be that way, but you can, like I said, set it up with a hard wire and do away with the original light board and do the number board functions by themselves. Now that's how I set up sound in an Arnold N-scale U25C or U28C. This U28C is the only one that I have, and I knocked the firecracker antenna off of it, so I'm not able to get one, so I'm gonna have to make one. I will put in my comments on where you can get parts for these. There's an RM Models out of Garland, Texas. A guy named Ray Markle, and I think his wife Mary runs that shop there in Garland, Texas, and you can get parts for these. You may not get everything, but you'll get something. Body shells, trucks, handrails, I think maybe light boards, and a few other parts. And I'm going to finish this up off camera, put the shell back on this one so I can get them running. And I hope everybody enjoys the video, and I hope this helps somebody on getting an idea of what's on the inside of these. Oh, and one other thing, to get the body shell off of these, you have to take the couplers off. Other than that, everyone happy railroading.